Do you know that feeling? The one where you know you're being watched, even when no one's there? That prickle on the back of your neck. The little voice whispering that something is wrong. Deeply wrong. I live with that feeling now. Every single day. It's a ghost that moved in after that night in the ER. The night I tried to save a life and ended up dragging hell back home to me and my daughter. My name is Marcus Chen, ER doctor in Detroit. My job is patching up broken people. Car wrecks, violence, overdoses. I thought I'd seen enough blood and desperation to be immune. I thought wrong. Chloe, my daughter, she was my anchor in all that chaos. The reason I dragged myself home, bone-tired, every shift. It started last October. Late. They brought in a kid, Javier Nico Ramirez, riddled with bullets. The usual controlled chaos erupted, shouting, cracking ribs, pushing blood. We threw everything we had at him, but Nico didn't make it. Just another loss, I thought, until I went to the waiting room. No tears, no shouting, just a group of men. Silent, their eyes cold, sharp, drilling right into me. They didn't look like family. They looked like business associates, the kind whose business often ends on my table. Their eyes lingered, a cold assessment maybe, a promise. I shuddered then, but the relentless pace of the ER swallowed me back up. Just another night, I told myself. That stare, though, it haunted me more than I realized. A few days later, the weirdness began. Late-night calls to my old landline. I'd pick up, nothing, just dead air. Then a soft click. 3 nights in a row. Caller ID. Unknown. Glitches? Wrong numbers? I started letting the machine get it. No messages ever left. Then, one morning, my front passenger tire was flat. Not a nail. A clean slit in the sidewall. Almost surgical. Who does that? Was I just paranoid, exhausted? I changed it, already late, pushing the unease down. Leaving the hospital late felt different. Cars lingering in the parking garage. Headlights mirroring me on the freeway. Then suddenly exiting right before I did. Probably nothing. I'm a man of science, evidence, not shadows. But the feeling persisted. A low hum of wrongness tuned just for me. The heavy terracotta pot by my front door. One evening, it was shifted, just an inch or two, but I knew I'd straightened it the day before. The wind? It was heavy. It felt like a message. We were here. We can touch your things. I became obsessed with locks. Double-checking, triple-checking, peeking through blinds. I installed a motion sensor light over the garage. It seemed to trigger at odd hours, illuminating nothing but empty driveway. I mentioned it offhandedly to a colleague. He shrugged. Sounds like stress, Marcus. Get some sleep. I tried to believe him. I really did. Then Chloe came home, pale. Dad. There was this guy. She described a man leaning against a dark sedan near her bus stop. Just watching her. He didn't speak, didn't move towards her. Just watched until she started walking home, then drove off slowly. Protective rage boiled up inside me, cold and terrifying. Probably just some creep, honey, I lied, forcing reassurance into my voice. But the timing, after everything else, this wasn't random. The vague fear sharpened into something specific, aimed right at my daughter. That night, I didn't sleep. I sat in the dark, watching the street. Every passing car made my heart leap. The house felt like a glass box, exposed. I got a full security system installed. Cameras, sensors, the works, an illusion of control. I started driving Chloe to and from school myself. A few days later, that illusion shattered. Chloe showed me her phone, knuckles white, an Instagram DM request, no profile pic, random username. The message froze my blood. Heard your dad's a doctor. Does he fix people or just watch them die? Tell him Nico says hi. Nico. That name, it was real. They knew who Chloe was. They knew how to reach her. They were using a dead kid's name as a threat. Don't reply. Block him. Right now. I managed, my voice tight. I explained carefully about the patient, the men in the waiting room. Fear bloomed in her eyes. So, they think it's your fault? They're coming after us? Because of your job? The fear was inside the house now. The cameras couldn't stop it. Suspicion started eating at me. Could someone at the hospital have leaked my info? I thought about Mike Torelli, one of the night security guards. Seemed friendly enough. Then, leaving the hospital around 3 a.m. one night, the garage nearly deserted. I saw Mike, near the exit booth, talking to someone in a dark sedan parked just outside the gate. The car looked exactly like the one Chloe saw, and the man Mike was talking to, even from the back, the set of his shoulders, it looked chillingly familiar. Like one of the men from the waiting room the night Nico died, Mike spoke earnestly. The driver listened, then nodded sharply. The car pulled away. Mike turned back towards the hospital entrance, his face unreadable. Coincidence? In the dead of night, right after the threats escalated? My gut twisted. Was Mike feeding them information? Threatened? Willingly involved? The place I worked, the place I saved lives, suddenly felt deeply unsafe. Compromised. The next evening, I came home before Chloe. The house was too quiet, expectant. I went upstairs to change and stopped dead in my bedroom doorway. Something was wrong. Not obvious at first, but the feel of the room was off. Then I saw it. The book on my nightstand wasn't mine. It was an old medical textbook from across the room, and it was open. Open to a specific chapter. Complications in thoracic trauma. The exact kind of injuries Nico Ramirez had died from. My heart hammered. They'd been inside. Here. In my bedroom. They hadn't forced entry. I frantically checked the security app on my phone. No alerts. No record of entry since I'd left that morning. My brand new state-of-the-art security system. Silent. Useless. An expensive joke. They'd walked right in and left their chilling, specific message without a trace. We can get to you. Anytime. Anywhere. The psychological violation was devastating. Worse than a physical fight. I got Chloe, made up a story about the furnace acting up, and checked us into a hotel miles away. I called the police. They came. Listened more seriously this time. Dusted the book. Futile, I knew. Confirmed no forced entry. Checked the security logs. Nothing. This is professional intimidation, Doctor. Officer Davies told me grimly. They're messing with your head. The lack of forced entry is concerning. Either they're really good or someone let them in. Or they had a key. She warned me Nico's crew was bad news. Connected. Be careful, she said. This might not be over. We stayed away for a while. Refugees in our own lives. The police investigation went nowhere. No prints, no witnesses. The security company found no flaws in the system. I cautiously told the detective about Mike, my suspicions. Noted, but purely circumstantial. Mike was cleared internally. Lack of evidence. Then, just as suddenly as it started, it stopped. No more calls, no messages, nothing. We eventually moved back home. New deadbolts, reinforced locks, and a constant, gnawing anxiety. I went back to work. Every unfamiliar face in the waiting room sparked a flicker of fear. I avoided Mike, exchanging curt nods when unavoidable, the suspicion thick and unspoken between us. The overt harassment was over, but the fear never really left. It settled in my bones, a permanent chill. Who did it? Why did they stop? Will they start again? I'll never know. I still save lives. But now, there's always a whisper. What are the consequences? Who am I angering tonight?